In the past few days, I've not only been in the hospital for heart complications, but I've also come home to blow up multiple toilets and have experienced roughly 1/100th of the pain women experience day to day. Shout out to women, you are so strong. Thankfully, Himeko Nova came out, so Mother is here to take care of me. So with all that being said, my name is Braxophone, but you can call me Brax, and let's talk about Himeko Nova. It might not seem like it after this video, but Himeko Nova is one of the simplest characters we've gotten in a while, though I definitely don't think she'll be falling off anytime soon. More importantly, she has the perfect name shortening, so I'm going to be referring to her as Himeno instead, just so that way nobody gets her confused with her regular counterpart, Argenti. Himeno's role is one of a super powerful damage dealer that draws buffs from her teammates both inside and outside of her kit. She's actually the first playable character in Star Rail that defeats enemies with the power of friendship. As the perfect example of this, Himeno's kit includes an assist skill, which is the first of its kind in Honkai Star Rail. Star Rail is finally adding another button to press in game, and this button is the perfect rage bait because anytime you forget to press it, you might as well reset your run. So first off, there's two ways to use assist skills, with one being a button you press on an ally turn, and one that automatically activates when a special effects conditions are met. Himeno's assist skill is a large chunk of damage, and it's got extra activations based on what teammates you have from the express crew on your team. For the special effect called Verdict, you'll get an extra assist every 2 ultimates that you use when you're playing with any Danheng, Sunday, or Trailblazer. And in addition to that, when Verdict is active on your team, Himeno gets 100% damage bonus and an additional 100% ult damage dealt. Alternatively, for the Decimation special effect, you'll gain a charge anytime an ally hits an enemy, and once you reach 9, Himeno launches her assist skill. This setting is for playing with Welt, Regular Co, or March, and it grants all allies 100% crit damage and an extra 100% crit damage on skills. This applies for Himeno's assist skill and seems like a really solid setup overall. But at the moment, the Decimation effect is the bricked effect, and you'll likely only want to use it when you have high investment on Welt, E2 Himeno, or if they release future special versions of Express members. Both of her assist skills that are triggered via her special effects can happen twice per battle, but this charge resets after she ultimates, so it's pretty easy to get more. Regardless of the mode that you use, your goal is to get as many assist skills as possible so you can blow up the ocean. Normally, opting to use the assist skill button, not the extra one from ult or charge, eats up your character's turn, but you can activate the assist skill on any character's turn that comes up so long as you have a charge. The cool thing about Himeno and Express crew members is that with her second passive, she grants Express allies an extra turn after using the assist skill button. This means that you can assist skill on ally turns and still get their full value with a regular turn as well. It also means by playing with the right speed tuning, you can assist skill every single turn. Now, this is because when she uses her regular skill, which is a buff that lasts 3 turns by the way, everyone on the team gets 20% more damage dealt, but it also gives her an assist skill usage at the start of every turn, or when you recast her skill. Her skill also gets cast at the start of battle when you use her technique, and her skill will refresh every wave if you use her technique as well. Essentially, every time Himeno moves, you get to assist skill with any of your teammates when their turn comes up, preferably Express crewmates. And by speed tuning her with Sunday and Sparkle, you can assist skill on every Danheng and Sunday turn because she'll be taking a lot of actions, leading to tons more damage and assist skill opportunities. I'll talk about that more in the team section though. Just know that you can really turn Himeno into an absolute engine of destruction. Well, erudition, but you get what I meant. When Himeno's turn comes up, you'll also want to assist skill every opportunity that you have her skill up, because with one of her passives, her using her own assist skill on her turn doesn't actually take up your 1 assist skill charge that you're able to save. And additionally, that passive grants her 5 energy when her assist skills are capped on her turn. Actually, let's talk about energy real quick, because Himeno's goal is to get out this really sick Gundam with her ult. But to do that, you need to funnel her tons of energy. Luckily, her assist skill grants 18 energy to her on use, and it also gives allies 4 energy when you use it on their turn. Her max energy is actually quite low compared to a lot of newer units, since she only needs 150. If you can take tons of turns with her and use her assist skill regularly, you'll have no problem ever getting into the Megazord. When using her ult, there's all this talk about source energy in her kit. Literally don't worry about that unless you're E6ing, because your ult is going to be EQQQ, EQQQ, E, or big laser / big laser / big laser. Then you erase everything on that platform from history. I wish you could ult Twitter. The reason her ult works like that is due to another one of her passives that starts her with 3 source energy, so you'll basically always be able to use her big laser first since it costs 3. Every slash will gain you 1 back. And the last major things to talk about with Himeno is going to be the rest of her talent that I didn't actually read. She passively Immediately gains 20% all-type res pen, 80% crit damage, can ignore weakness type when breaking, and her assist skill is considered to be a skill. The platform that she blows up in her ult is also created when entering battle with her, which is going to immediately grant allies an assist skill usage as well. Though there's a lot to explain in Himeno's kit, her gameplay is really easy to get down, with the exception of actually pressing the assist skill button. That thing is actual rage bait, like you just lose 500k per turn if you forget it. Her gameplay boils down to assist skill maxing on her and your allies that are from the express crew, keeping her skill up, and ulting when you have the energy. Now, as for her talent priority, you want to prioritize her talent, and I feel really stupid saying that for some reason. Then her ultimate, and lastly, her skill. Himeno is an incredibly easy character to build, just like a lot of DPS characters. She can utilize old relic and planar sets, meaning that you might not even have to farm new stuff. So let me show you what I mean. For Himeno's best relic set to maximize damage, she'll want the As Navigator ICCs it, which is essentially going to buff her skill and ult damage every time there's an assist skill or her regular skill is used. It constantly loses and gains these buffs, but with Himeno, it should be 100% uptime in the right setup. Alternatively though, you can opt for Genius of Brilliant Stars for the defense ignore, Wave Strider Captain, or Scholar Lost in Erudition for pretty competitive damage, though Scholar won't have perfect uptime. But if you have any of these older sets, you can totally use them. As for planar ornaments, there's a brand new set called Fallen Start Anchorage, which grants crit rate as well as bonus crit damage for having express crew allies. It's a 32 crit damage and 8% crit rate buff, which is equal value to the Banana Amusement Park set, which grants 16% crit damage plus 32% for having a Memo Sprite active, which Preservation Daniel can grant her. So if you already have a good Banana Amusement Park set, then you might not actually have to farm for the new Fallen Start Anchorage planers. As for main stats, you'll want to run crit rate or damage body, but preferably crit rate due to her crit damage buffs. Attack or speed boots, but attack is preferred for action forward teams, which are going to be her best right now. An attack percent or fire damage orb, and an attack percent rope. For substats, I'd recommend just trying to get her to 100 crit rate, since your supports and all of her other buffs will saturate her with crit damage. If you're playing Sunday, make sure not to go above 80% crit rate, since he grants 20% from his kit. For speed and non-action forward teams, I'd recommend just going with the standard 134, but I'd really recommend speed tuning her teams to max her damage. Sorry guys, I have to pause writing this video now because Endless Ragnarok just dropped.
One eternity later.
Okay, so now that I've played 14 hours, I'm good to take a short break. Let's go over her best light codes. So Himeno is an unfortunate victim of signature light cone to goodness. While she has many different light cone options available to her, it goes beyond a damage thing and is more a quality of life thing, where her signature just makes her feel 100% better to play. Her signature, a star that lights the night, ignores 32% of enemy defense, which is already crazy and stacks well with other defense shreds. But with her signature light cone, she also gets an extra 6 energy from her assist skill, putting her at 24 per use. And another buff that grants her 20% assist skill damage, stacking up to 3 times is on that light cone. This thing's crazy. At full stacks, it gives her 60% ult damage as well. So even if you have the smoothest brain of all time, it's pretty clear how good her light cone is for her, and it's definitely her ideal setup. But alternatively, there are some other light cones, including free-to-play ones, that make her playable for solid damage still, like Night on the Milky Way in Pure Fiction, Herta and Jingyan's signatures, the Battle Pass today is another peaceful day at S5, Eternal Calculus, which is a decent free-to-play option as well, and if you don't have anything else, The Day the Cosmos Fell or The Seriousness of Breakfast can be crafted and max superimposed. None of the free-to-play light cone options give extra energy, so it definitely puts her at a disadvantage compared to her signature, but it would be untrue to say that Himeko isn't good without her signature light cone, and you definitely shouldn't feel forced to get it, especially if you're a free-to-play player. Now, if you want to see a damage comparison of her light cones, which I'm sure most of you do, check out this chart and it'll give you a better visual idea of what to expect. Good lord, look at those legs. After my pre-release video, I've narrowed down her teams to some that I think perform exceptionally well, and though there are probably some other options, these are the ones that I would recommend to you guys if you're trying to save resources or make sure that you're investing into her in an optimal way. So this is a team that I and literally every other person has been talking about. It's the Himeno, Sunday, Sparkle, and Dan Hung team, and as explained in my pre-release video, basically Dan Hung and Sunday are both able to get assist skills off every single one of their turns, and the way that they're able to do that is Dan Hung will take his turn turn and use the assist skill, and the charge is gone. Sparkle will then pull up Himeno. Himeno will then gain an assist skill, and then it will be Sunday's turn right after, because Sunday will be speed tuned to be slightly behind Sparkle. In this team in particular, I have Sparkle at 166 and Sunday at 163. You do not need to make them that fast. This was insane that I rolled this high on speed. And typically, Sparkle only needs to be like maybe 163 if you want to be safe, and then him at 161. But even 161, 159 works if I remember correctly, at least for a certain amount of cycles. So Himeno gets pulled up by Sparkle, then Sunday gets to act, and before you pull up Himeno again with Sunday, you want to actually use the assist skill on him, which makes the charge go away. And then Himeno gets pulled up, and then it's her turn, and you get the assist skill again. And then the next person up is going to be Dan Heng, and he gets to use the assist skill, and then Sparkle pulls her up, and it just repeats over and over and over. So you get assist skill on every single Dan Heng and Sunday turn, and it ends up doing a ridiculous amount of damage. Also, because Sparkle and Sunday are going to be ulting pretty frequently, and actually Dan Heng will be as well, you shouldn't have any problems activating her special effects. Now, for decimation teams, if you have E2, S1, Himeko, you can do this really funny thing with March 7th Hunt, where you can infinitely loop Himeko ult on specific bosses. This only works if you're super high investment, Dance Dance Dance, E6 Ting Yun, E2 S1 Himeko, E0 S0 Tribi. I mean, that's all you really need, because the goal is just to get infinite ult with Himeko. I am not even sure if I should show this to you guys on video, but if you want to see what it looks like, I'll let you guys find that video. You can also play Remembrance Trailblazer instead of Sunday if you would like. It doesn't work quite as well because you don't have the consistency of pulling up Himeno every single time, but you are getting more action forward and you're getting true damage in addition to that, which is kind of nice. The goal here would just be using Sparkle to pull up Himeno to take as many actions as possible. Without Sunday, it will be pretty noticeable, at least the difference in overall damage. And then for supports that you can use outside of her special effects, that's going to be Sparkle and Mordenax Blade for the most part. These two characters are very, very strong, especially Mordenax Blade in all of the new content. This guy just kind of kills everything. Sparkle, you've seen in basically every team. And then I want to make a shout out to Welt. Welt can work in specific teams, though, because he's a decimation unit and we don't really have a solid dedicated decimation team yet that performs as well as this one, he is kind of on the back burner. Though if you do have his Eidolon 4, he does become significantly more powerful. So that's something worth keeping in mind if you do want to use him in other teams, even if you're not running a full decimation team or something like that. I do think we are going to get more characters that work alongside Himeko. I mean, more Express crewmates specifically, or I guess Express crew members. I don't know. I keep saying crewmate, and I haven't even played Among Us in like 3 years. I think we'll get some new SPs though soon, and I think it'll be really, really cool when we do, especially if it makes Himeko good forever. Because honestly, considering that we're following the Astral Express crew, if she keeps working with all those characters, it's possible that she doesn't fall off for a very long time, and that her synergy and team opportunities only grow with time. With that said, I do think it's worth talking about our Eidolons, so let's get to those next. All right, guys, I'll say it. I didn't want to have to bring it up, but somebody's got to do it. Jinglu needs another buff. Anyways, now with that off my chest, we can focus on Himeko's Eidolons. Eidolons, that's what I was going to say. They're really strong, like absurdly so. E1 makes it so that she can trigger her assist skill in extra time, which will make it 3 times per battle until she ults, which isn't a huge deal, but the kicker is that in Verdict, now she only needs 1 ult to activate it instead of 2. And when in Decimation, she only needs 6 stacks instead of 9. This is an absolutely crazy pace change, and also her S1 will trigger her extra damage effect in extra time, just in case the amount of assists she gets wasn't enough. And if you thought E1 was crazy though, her E2 is even more absurd because it allows her to hold 2 assist skills instead of 1, and also gives her a straight up 30% increase to her ult and assist skill damage output. On top of that, non-express crew members also get extra turns when using her assist skill, so you just get extra uses of it every turn now. E2 is going to grant her that extra assist during every one of her turns, so she'll be able to easily give them to Sparkle too. So now on that one team that I kept showing you guys examples of, Sparkle, Dan Heng, and Sunday get to use it, and it's going to do 30% more damage, and she's going to actually use her assist skill every single time one of them ults before her turn comes up to 3 times until her turn comes up. So yeah, absolutely ridiculous. And I'll show you a chart here at the end. E3 is an ult and basic attack level up, and E4 is going to give your all type res pen that she has passively to her allies, and Himeno is also going to gain an extra 10% on top of that. So lots more damage for your whole team, though I will say in the team that I keep showing you guys, it's not going to matter too much for like Sunday, Dan Heng, and Sparkle, but in a decimation team where you are running multiple characters that are going to be hitting enemies over and over and they might do more damage, this could actually be a much bigger deal. E5 is going to be a skill and talent level up, and E6 is an extra 20% fire res pen 10 for her, and it makes her ult points stack up to 6 instead of 3. This is the source energy thing we were talking about earlier, by the way. She'll also get extra source energy for having allies use her assist skill, which also gets a 75% damage increase. Then, combined with the extra hit she gets from E6 on her ult, actually just makes her ult damage ridiculously high. But it's E6, so you honestly already knew that. But now onto the good stuff, because between E1 and E2 alone, you're going to be adding an astronomically large amount of damage, and they're easily one of the strongest E1 and 2 combinations in the entire game. While her E1 adds around 20% overall damage, with E2, you can see almost 80% more total damage output from E0. And I don't think I need to explain to you why that's absurd. If you want a visual, here's a chart showing everything that you need to know about her Eidolon damage gain, and I think it is absolutely ridiculous. However, that is taking into consideration her signature Lightcone and optimal team, and between her Eidolons and Lightcone, I would definitely recommend getting her Lightcone first, just because it's going to cost you less and it's the ideal order of operations for damage increases. But I personally am not going to be wailing for Himeko, and you guys will never guess why.